message to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Debra Wheatman. I am the president and founder of Careers Done Right. We are a marketing and branding company that helps individuals plan for and manage their career choices, right from the point where they decide that they're going to pursue a new opportunity, all the way until they secure that opportunity and beyond. I'm very excited to present to you all today about winning in the fifth quarter. After you complete game day, gameplay, when the game is over, what are you going to do next? Also, before I get started with this first slide, I would like to tell you that I really love an interactive audience. So if you're so inclined, please feel free to show me some love with questions below. I will answer them as I go through my discussion with you. And also call me. I would love to hear from you afterwards. If you do have questions, maybe there's something you'd like to talk with me about specifically. I would love to talk with you and learn more about you and help you in any way I can. Without further ado, how will you become successful in a brand new career? There are a number of things that you need to do to prepare for a career after the game is over, after you're done playing and you're moving on to other things. What are some of those things? A brand new career can be scary. It can take time to get traction in the market. It can take time to figure out what you want to do, how you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, with whom you're going to do it. And I hope today that I can share some really actionable information with you that will give you a window into how to prepare for those things and be successful as you move forward into the fifth quarter. We're going to cover three major themes today in our time together. And those things are transferable skills, networking, and research. Transferable skills are the things in your background, the things that you're good at, and sometimes maybe you don't even know what they are because you don't really think about job search in terms of what are my transferable skills? What are the things that I can apply to a new position or to any position, frankly, now that I'm done with the game of football? So a number of people, when they start looking for new opportunities, they think that they have limited experience. But in fact, that's not really true. Every experience that you have, whether that's on the field, with other players, with your coach, with the news, because you do speak to the news, all of those things that you've developed over the course of the time that you've been playing, those can be transferred to the transferable skills. What are some of the things that make you stand out from the competition? Those transferable skills are the things you are going to capture, not only in verbally when you speak with other people, with your network, people you don't know even, but also those are the things that you're going to capture in any resume, cover letter, bio, on LinkedIn, or any other social presence where you put out information about yourself. You're going to go to your network as part of conducting this search. And you're going to also, of course, do research because you don't want to take the first thing that's offered to you necessarily. I mean, sometimes you will, maybe you're looking at something specific. That things comes to fruition, and that is great and perfect. Love that. But what happens if you're not really so sure and you want to look at other opportunities? You're exploring a bunch of different things. Well, it's your transferable skills, it's your network, and it's your research that is going to play a very big part in all of those things. You will need to transfer your skills that you have learned as an athlete to build capacity in business. What are transferable skills? Well, transferable skills are the things that can be applied to any job. For example, leadership, time management, collaboration, all of the things that you've no doubt applied on the field. When you're looking to get started in a new career, transferable skills are invaluable to your professional brand. And let me just stop for a second and talk to you about branding. Your brand is the thing that how other people perceive you. That's the thing when they say, whoever, this person, Debra Wheatman, this is what I know Debra for. That becomes your brand. And that is a critical element, not only to building your network, but it also allows other people to understand just how valuable you will be in their environment. A recent study found that 50%, 57% of job seekers cannot identify their transferable skills. That's a lot of people. And one of the ways that you can really look to identify what those transferable skills are and how to marry them to a new position is do some due diligence. What do I mean by due diligence? Well, you're going to write down the things that you're good at. You're also going to write down the things that maybe you're not so good at. And I understand that that might be a little bit challenging because nobody really likes to think about the things that they're not good at. They like to think about the things that they really are good at. But part of taking that self inventory and why that's so critical is twofold. One, your transferable skills will be apparent to you, so you'll know really what you're good at. The other thing is it gives you an opportunity to improve in the areas where you might find yourself lacking. Okay. And finally, it'll allow you should also go to your network, go to people and ask them how they perceive you. Why is this important? It's important because it gives you a broader view of your overall skill set. And believe me, you will find that people will share things with you that you didn't even know about yourself. Also, 58% of job seekers aren't sure how to include these transferable skills on their resume, in their cover letter, in their bio, on LinkedIn. That's why taking an inventory is so critical. If you write them down, you'll have a better understanding not only of what they are, but how to practically apply them as you move ahead professionally. Now that you understand what your transferable skills are, or a little bit more about what those are, how do you share them? Well, you're going to incorporate them into your resume as you build out your resume, as you build out your bio, as you build out a cover letter, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. And that's a very important thing. So at the top of your resume, obviously, you're going to have your name, you're going to have your contact information. Then you will likely have something of a summary, not an objective statement, but a summary just about your overarching skills. And then a core competency section, which are keywords. And then you will go into the body of the resume. The top third of your resume is prime real estate. That's really where you need to make a measurable and meaningful impact. And that will set the tone for the rest of that document. So you have the top third, and then you're going to go into the body of the resume, which is your professional experience. Also important, and this is key to remember, soft skills. Soft skills should not be pushed to the wayside. They are very important as part of building your overall resume. And I like to talk about it in terms of being on an airplane. If I have to be on a flight with someone for 9 hours and I have two people I'm considering, one has all the right skills, perfect person, definitely could do the job with eyes closed. And then I have someone who is maybe needs some training, they need a little, mentoring or what have you, but I like that person better. I could easily see myself spending 9 hours on a plane. Who should I pick? Who would I pick? Well, I would clearly pick this person because if I have to spend all of this time with someone, which remember you're going to do in a business setting, you're going to be spending a lot of time around the people that you work with. It's going to be important that you like them, that you get along with them, that you think you can collaborate with them, that you understand how the inner workings of that business operates. So if I like this person better, I'm willing to train. I'm willing to go the extra mile. I'm willing to do the things that need to be done because I know that I want to be around this person and I know they're going to be a better fit for my environment versus hiring someone who, very, very good qualities, could do the job, no problem, but I would much rather be around this person. And a lot of hiring decisions are made that way. So your soft skills, the collaboration, the communication, the ongoing engagement, the emotional intelligence that you bring to the role, the level of empathy that you have, all of those things, they play a very critical role in job search. So LinkedIn did a survey, and they did a survey of the top 5 soft skills employers look for. So what does the survey say? Number 5 is time management. People have to be able to manage their time. You can't just walk into an environment. There's going to be projects. There's going to be deadlines. There's going to be things that you have to do, things that are required of you, things that maybe you didn't anticipate because no job is perfect. And you're going to, of course, do things and have accountability in the role for things that maybe you're not that thrilled about. We all take positions. The job description that you see is not always the job description you're going to get. So time management is important in any job. The next thing on the list is adaptability. Being adaptable in an environment allows you to sort of roll with the punches, frankly, and maybe a little bit colloquial, but that's what it is. It shows that you can let things roll. You're not going to take things so seriously, because in an office environment, in that business environment, it really is about working with your colleagues, collaborating, getting along. That doesn't mean you won't be tasked with making a decision. And maybe the buck will stop with you, which is totally fine if that's the case. And at the end of the day, you will have the opportunity to say, you know what, appreciate everybody's comments. Everything is great, but I do think that this is the best way to go. And maybe you'll make the decision to go in that way. But it still is important to not dig your heels in too deep, and demonstrate that you can incorporate other people's thoughts into the things that you do. Next, collaboration. And I talked about this a few minutes ago. Collaboration is critical. Nobody operates in a vacuum. Nobody. Everybody operates with other people. Think about your team when you were playing. You had to talk to your other team members. You had to listen to the coach. You had to figure out what was going on the field, what maybe the other team was doing or wasn't doing. So it really is about collaboration. So all of the things that you did on the field, they absolutely 150% translate to business. Next, persuasion. Being persuasive is important in business. And you might have had the opportunity as well to use this on the field, getting people to understand your ideas, your perspective, why you think something is a good idea, and have them come over to your camp is a very important skill. Are you going to hit the mark 100% of the time? Not likely. But will you hit it some of the time? Absolutely. So being persuasive, explaining what you think is the right way and backing it up with the why will allow you to be persuasive in a very outgoing way that really makes people want to come to your side. So part of persuasion, again, going back to my airplane, is about having people like you. People want to do things and engage with and be around people they like. And they will do things for you if they like you. The number one thing that you will have to demonstrate in business is credibility. And that's something that you build over time, and creativity. So creativity and credibility both, and they're sort of like one and one next to each other. Being creative, demonstrating your credibility, and really speaking with people and making them understand why you're doing the things that you're doing, why you suggest them, what about it is going to allow the business to move forward, will do both of those things for you. It will support your creativity. It will also support your credibility. Now that you've acquired all of these highly sought after soft skills, what is the story that you want to tell? And if nothing else, preparing your resume, preparing your cover letter, preparing a bio, networking, capturing your transferable skills, all of these things are about telling a story. Your story, there's no better place, in fact, to tell your story than in your cover letter. That gives you a venue, not only to show people that you know how to write. So don't neglect your cover letter. It's an important tool. I often say that preparing a resume and not having a cover letter, it's like leaving your house with a jacket and no pants. The two things, they go together. you would not leave your house with no pants. Or I mean, at least I hope you wouldn't, because that would be weird. But your cover letter tells a really critical story about you, the things you offer, and what makes you so special and so unique. And we're all special in our own way. We are all unique, and we all have amazing things to offer. Take advantage of your cover letter to tell that story. Many, many years ago, I worked for Martha Stewart, and we hired a lot of people there. That company was very big. They had 3 locations, and there were a lot of openings, many of which were in, there was like crafting and baking and cooking and recipe development and all the things that you would find in a really creative environment. One day, as part of the recruiting group, I got a resume and a letter from a person who was applying for a position in the test kitchen. So she wanted to test recipes, she wanted to make recipes, and that's the role that she was looking for. So she had spent her entire career in manufacturing, her entire career. And her cover letter was the thing that got her the job. She wrote a letter that I read that talked about the work that she did in her kitchen with her mother and her grandmother, where she came from a very Italian family. They created recipes. They developed sauces, and they did all of this in their kitchen, right? For family, for friends. And she told this amazing story about the recipes they developed and just how the whole family and their friends came together around this entire thing. That letter resulted in her interview, not only with me, but with the test kitchen. And it resulted in an offer for someone who was an amazing employee, even though she previously spent basically her entire career in a manufacturing environment. So that's just to show you the power a letter can have. It can be very powerful. Think about the transferable skills. Think about the things that you want to share with your network, with a hiring resource, with someone that you're reaching out to because you want to have a conversation. It will allow you to tell your story in such a unique way and demonstrate your unique value, which is what we all want. We want to demonstrate our unique value proposition. What is it about each and every one of us that makes us so special? So think about your cover letter, think about writing one, and think about what story you want to tell in there. What should your cover letter contain? Some tips and tricks for your cover letter: start with an introduction. You want to tell a little bit about who you are. Outline some of the performance that you had on the field, what you did, how you did it, how you engaged with your teammates or your coach. Maybe you have a story that you want to share about something specific that happened, and you think that that's a way to sort of bridge the gap. Drive home your transferable skills. Incorporate research. Research is something that I talk about all the time. I talk about it in the blogs I write. I talk about it on LinkedIn. I talk about it in presentations. The reason why research is so critical to your job search is because knowledge is power. If you do your research, I guarantee you will have a leg up. It gives you an opportunity to learn about a company's mission, vision, values, their culture, what they stand for, and make a determination if, in fact, you even want to be there. Just because you interview for something, just because you're meeting with someone, doesn't mean that you have to accept an offer if one is presented to you. It is not Hotel California. You're not entering without ever having to leave again. Okay, you have the right of first refusal. So think about your research. And when you do your research, take notes, ask good questions. These things will work for you when you join a company, because you won't walk in with blinders on. You will understand exactly what the expectations are, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and how you're going to execute. You're going to explain your reasons for wanting to pursue a role with this particular company or person or whatever it is that you're doing. So your cover letter really serves as not only your introduction, but it also serves as a way for you to treat it like an icebreaker. So, of course, if you're not comfortable doing this on your own, and you may or may not be, that's fine. As I said, call me. I'm happy to help you. How do you spread the word of how awesome you are? And you're all awesome, no doubt. Get connected. Connect with people in your industry, outside of your industry. Maybe you have a dream company. I am a big believer in writing things down. I don't believe that anything should be left hanging around up here because you forget. I know that if I don't write things down, I will absolutely forget to do them. And I've learned my lesson because I've forgotten things that I haven't written down. So writing things down will keep you on your path. When you hear of job openings, write them down, reach out to people, schedule networking meetings, engage with your audience, and that will allow you to move ahead with purpose. It will allow you to understand what it is that you should be doing next. If you don't take notes, not only will you forget, but you might find yourself in the unfortunate situation of saying, who is this person? I don't remember reaching out to them, and I don't really understand. Like, you're going to have to work it on the fly, which is not really a good idea. Getting connected, building, managing, maintaining, and growing your network will provide you with an unbelievable opportunity to learn more about an industry, about a company, and how you might fit in and add value in that environment. So your research, getting connected, building your network, all of these things will serve you well. What have you done recently to learn more about either a dream company or a dream industry, something that you are pursuing? The most important thing that you do need to consider throughout all of this is networking. Your network is going to be the thing that will propel you forward. And it's interesting because your network, there are two things. So there are your connections, which is one group of people, which is probably much, much larger than your network. So there's this group over here, and then there's your network, which is much, much smaller. Okay. You can make your connections your network, but that takes time. It takes energy. It takes a lot of work. Your network are the people that are going to support you in your efforts to pursue a new opportunity. And it's funny because I have found just in my travels and meeting with thousands of people, you will find out who your network really are. You will find out who your friends are from this exercise, and it's not going to be the people that you think. Your network, you can call for assistance at 3 a.m. You can't do that with your connections. So building a network is critical to long-term success. If you take nothing away from this conversation, this is the one thing that you should take away. Build, manage, maintain, grow, and nurture your network. It will work for you forevermore. If you have a presence on LinkedIn, which I hope that you do, there are over 2 million groups on LinkedIn where you can network. And that's pretty powerful because you can meet people all over the world. Now that we are coming out of, at least I hope, the pandemic and things are starting to open up or have opened up, you have an opportunity not only to meet with people in person, but also build these bridges online. And a lot of companies now are opening up things to work remotely, so you don't actually have to go to an office anymore. So you might live in New York, but could take a job in LA and do that from the comfort of your own home. That's why online networking is so important. 50 to 80% of jobs are filled through networking. So that number alone should prompt you to want to build your network. 87% of recruiters regularly use LinkedIn to identify and hire people. 70% of jobs are not advertised. And 82% of adults working in the US think that online is a vital part of pursuing a new opportunity. How much time have you spent online? And I'm not saying that you should double down on your online presence. What I'm saying is that it is a balance. Networking should take up the lion's share of your efforts. And of course, when it comes to networking, there are some do's and don'ts. So you are going to spend some time growing your network, focusing on your transferable skills, and of course, sending the all important cover letter. You are not going to neglect your networking efforts. You are going to reach out to people. You are going to stay in touch with them. You are not going to disregard any previous job experience. Things that maybe you did outside of football. I'm sure all of you have either volunteer things or other things, passion projects, things that you've done that not only represent transferable skills, but they also represent things that you could share with your network as a point of interest. You are not going to ignore this valuable tool. It is critical to your success. It's critical for your growth and your development. Building a strong network will help you. And you're going to have to not necessarily, it's not going to be just one outreach in some cases. Following up with people feel, and I know this from experience, they get a little nervous. They're like, well, I reached out and I didn't hear back. And what should I do? I see some questions. So I'm going to finish what I'm saying, and then I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see, and I'm going to answer. You need to follow up. I understand that it's a little uncomfortable. I don't care. Do it anyway. So let's see what you asked me. I don't know because I can't read it. Can someone help me? How? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I need you to make the second one larger too, if you don't mind. How can I be confident in a career change? I just like gave away my age there with my glasses. I can't read anything. How can you be confident in your career change? Well, you can do a number of things. You can create, as I said, information about your transferable skills, what you want to do, how you see yourself, and go to your network. Ask them how they see you, right? Build bridges with people and build a solid resume, build a really great cover letter, speak to other people, build a brand. And it's not, building a brand is not easy. I won't lie. It's not like you're going to wake up one day and say, Deb, I'm ready to build my brand, and here it is. But what I will tell you, that work that you put into building your brand will give you the confidence to move forward. The other thing is, and I'm sure not just you, the person who asked me the confidence in the career change situation. And if you want to talk to me about that, as I said, call me. The other thing that you should be doing as you build confidence, there are some really great resources out there, books and other things that you can avail yourself of that will give you a lot of really good ideas and tools. Okay. Part of being confident that's an inside job. Being confident is an inside job. I tell people all the time, love yourself. You don't realize how fabulous you are. Think about the things that you've done. Think about how hard you worked to get into the NFL. I mean, that's an unbelievable effort. Very few have that opportunity. You know why? Because they're not good enough. Getting into the NFL says that you were good enough. So think about that when you're considering your transferable skills and what you want to do next. I guarantee you, it's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. You will find something that inspires you, you will pursue it, and you will get it, guaranteed. Let's see my next question. He made it so big now I can read it without the glasses. Thank you. What tactics are important when discovering what you want to do next? Excellent question. Thank you, whoever asked me that. Taking an inventory of what you enjoy is critical. Writing those things down, as I said, write down what you like to do. Also, write down what you don't want to do. Building your resume, building your cover letter, building a bio, or anything about you. I mentioned you're going to get plenty of stuff that you don't want to do. Don't talk about it. Just because you did something doesn't mean you necessarily want to do it again. Therefore, the things that you don't like, don't talk about them. On your resume, don't talk about them with other people because there's no point. You want to talk about the things that you do enjoy. And if you're looking for a leadership role or a sales role or something else, what are those things? What are the things that inspire you? Those are the things that you should be considering. And then make a list, do the research. What companies are you interested in targeting? What do you want to do for those companies? Reach out to people and use LinkedIn to do so. I guarantee you, it's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. For every person that works in Hollywood, there is a connection to Kevin. Okay. It's the same thing with your job search. Go on LinkedIn, look up the hiring managers, see who you know that is connected to a company. People ask me all the time, Deb, do you know someone at XYZ company? And I will look. If I know someone, I will make a direct introduction. You know what? I'll make a direct introduction even if I don't know them. I will reach out to random people that I don't know and say, hi, this is a little bit about me. I am writing on behalf of this person. And I do throw in the, hey, you know how difficult searching for work is and how hard it is to create meaningful connections. So I hope that you will consider my request and are open to a conversation. Nothing wrong with it. What you should not do is go on LinkedIn and click, I want to connect with you for someone that you don't know. Take the second or 5 seconds that it takes to write a short note. Introduce yourself a little bit and explain why you want to connect with the person. They will be much more likely not only to accept your connection, but also schedule a call with you. I hope that answers your questions. If it didn't and you want me to expound further on that, I will do so at the end, unless I see other questions here. I'm often asked how to best network online, especially this past year, which has been, or the past 18 months, frankly, which has been incredibly challenging. And the answer is, of course, as I just mentioned, LinkedIn. So you can grow your brand with LinkedIn. Absolutely. When looking for success in a new career, LinkedIn is an incredible tool. It is the 800-pound gorilla. It's, if I'm being honest, becoming a little bit more like Facebook with birthdays and all of these things. But it's still a great networking tool, and I encourage you to use it. That doesn't mean you have to build an editorial calendar and start posting blogs all over the place. You don't need to do that. What you should do, though, is maybe you want to put out something on LinkedIn that you think other people would be interested in either reading about or hearing about. Provide your thoughts. Join some groups. I mentioned there's millions of groups on LinkedIn. Take advantage of them. Create some, if you're interested and you're okay in front of a camera, then you can create some interesting organic video content. Again, you don't have to do this. It is one of the options that you can take advantage of, but you definitely don't have to. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just write content, connect with people, ask people what they think, tag them. It will help build your online brand. It is a great networking thing. It is great for your online brand. And don't forget your headshot. People want to see who they're engaging with on LinkedIn. They don't want a gray circle with nothing in there. They also don't want a picture of you at the wedding that you were at where you're cut out. So there's like a zigzag because you removed your date or something. They don't want that. They don't want babies. They don't want cats. They want a picture of you with a smile, right? Somebody that looks approachable. I've seen pictures on LinkedIn. I'm not even going to get into it. It's tragic. Smile, be in front of a neutral background, make yourself approachable. Again, going back to my likability comment, people want to speak to, work with, engage with people that they like. Keep it professional. Are you actively using LinkedIn? What would happen, just as a question, if you showed up to the stadium without having watched game films? What would happen in that situation? The business world is no different. So you better do your research and you better do it ongoing. Valuable research tools when you're getting started in a new career. Research is vital. You want to look into the company that you're targeting. You want to speak to people, get your expectations set up. That will set you up for success. Research is the secret sauce to a successful job search. It will tell you what you should be doing, what you should be asking. And we all have that inner voice, right? That speaks to us and tells us, oh my gosh, run away from the situation, or, oh, this is going to be great for you. Pay attention to your inner voice. I know a lot of people who are guilty of not listening to their inner voice. I'm guilty of not listening to my inner voice. When I was much younger in my career, I didn't listen to my inner voice. I wound up accepting a job, even though my dad, he begged me not to go to this one company. He's like, don't do it. They're not a good company. It's, he had a whole litany of reasons. Of course, he didn't know anything because I knew everything. I was like in my 20s and I knew everything. And I got there the first day. They didn't even know who I was. They were not prepared to even have me on the team, had no idea who I was or what I was doing there. And then they wound up like running around scrambling. Finally, the person who was my boss showed up and like, yes, blah, blah, blah. Was not a good situation and wound up being not a good fit, not a good company, as my dad said, and did not work out. I stayed a year. It was torture. Okay. So your research will set you free. Let's spend a couple of minutes talking about some of the tools that you should be using to do that research. Glassdoor is a great tool. It will show you who's worked there. People who have interviewed there can comment. You have to sign up for it, but it is a really good tool. And I recommend that you go on Glassdoor and do some due diligence there. There's also payscale.com for salary information. There's also salary.com, which is not on this, but that's another one. LinkedIn, of course, is a very good source of information. Indeed.com. And the other thing, which I think goes without saying, your network. Go to your network. Go to the people that work at the companies where you want to work and talk to them. When you interview, don't be afraid to ask the hiring manager, you know what? I would love to speak to some people that work on the team. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I would encourage you to do that. The one thing it will allow you to understand is really what the down low is there, because it's the honeymoon phase when you go on the interviews. Everybody is like, yay, we love you. And then you get there and you find out that the situation is not as it was presented. So like you ordered something off of Amazon and you wound up with something completely different that you don't need. That can happen, and it does happen. So do the research, speak to the people. If you're in a situation where you meet with a hiring manager and they say, oh, you say, I'd like to meet with some other people on the team, and the person bristles at that request, your inner voice should take over and tell you that's not a good fit. If they don't want to open up the team to you and have other people speak with you, and this is the interview phase, I have questions and I also have concerns. So these valuable research tools, they will help you. I have been doing this over 20 years. And without hesitation, I will tell you, research, it will set you up for success. Reasons to do your research. It puts you in a position of power. And power is power. Okay. It allows you to manage expectations. It gives you insight into the industry, into the company, and it will also, critically important, allow you to negotiate your salary. There's no reason, zero, to not do your research. On the matter of salary, just for a quick second, you will negotiate. There is no offer that you should entertain without negotiating. You could easily leave $600,000 on the table if you don't negotiate. I'm just going to leave you with that for a second. $600,000. That's a lot of money. I don't care how much anyone has earned. $600,000 is a lot of money for anyone. And you could potentially leave that on the table over the course of a career unless you negotiate on your own behalf. And it's a critical element of your job search, and you must do it. We are, unfortunately, getting close to the end of our time together today. And I really hope that you have enjoyed hearing this presentation, learning a little bit from the things that I've shared with you. And I do hope that you will feel free to reach out to me to ask me questions and allow me the pleasure of helping you. Some key points that I would like you to take away. I know I've covered this ad nauseum, I'm sorry, but the research, I'm praying that you take that seriously. Transferable skills will help you showcase your talents. The transferable skills, critically important. Networking will put you ahead of the competition, and it's fierce out there. Not kidding. Get active on LinkedIn. If you need help on LinkedIn, what did I tell you? Call me and I will help you. I will help you, baby. Call me. And don't forget your cover letter. Don't forget it. It is important. Okay. So now I think I do have a couple of questions. So now I am going to put my glasses on and so I can see. Yay. The most challenging part of a new career. I think it's different for everybody. But I do know that a lot of times, and I know you might laugh, but it's true. You get to a new company, you don't even know where the bathroom is. It's like you need like a little tutorial just to get yourself up and running and up to speed on what they do. So, provided that they have like processes and procedures, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And when you get to the interview, you might have a list of questions. I would recommend not more than 3 or 4 because you don't want to have it sort of be like the kind of thing where you're asking all of these questions and the interviewer sort of wants to wrap up. And I've had that happen in my career. Like people come in with like a binder of questions. That's not going to work. And it won't be good for your brand and it won't work for any subsequent job offers. But the most challenging part for a lot of people is just sort of getting acclimated and feeling like they fit and they understand what the lay of the land is. So the first couple of weeks, they're challenging for a lot of people. And if a company has, and you should ask this question, you should always ask, what kind of onboarding do they have? If it's trial by fire, I'm going to say no. That's not a good thing. And I will tell you from experience, my own experiences from my own child who went to a company, and he's young, he's 22, went to a company, onboarding, horrible. It was just not good from the get. It wasn't good. He wound up leaving without another job. That's how bad it was. Likely that won't happen to you because you're more seasoned, you're older, you know what you're looking for, you know what to do. Ask good questions. What's the onboarding like? What's the ramp up time? What's the expectation in the first 30, 60, or 90 days of the work here? Those things will provide you with a very solid window in whether or not you want to pursue the work, or if you just say, you know what, this is not going to be the right place for me. Okay. When you meet with interviewers, ask them these questions and don't be afraid to do so. It'll set you up for success. How can I find a new career? Research. Do the research. And I'm absolutely happy to talk to you about that. I regularly coach people on figuring out what should I do? I have a lot of clients that just don't know what they want to do next. Some of them have had very lengthy careers in one area and they're ready to do something else and they don't want to continue on the same path. Other people are a bit younger in their career and they just feel a little bit lost. But you know what? There's room and, dare I say, hope for everybody. There's hope for everybody. Okay, let's see. How can I get the skills? Okay, can you scroll down maybe or up perhaps? Oh, thank you. How can I get the skills needed for a new job? Excellent question. Thank you for whoever asked that. You can take some classes. You can pursue certificate programs. You can go on, and there's tons of free resources online. If you do the research, and I'm actually happy to help you with this as well, I can point you in the direction of free resources that are really, really good, that will allow you to build up some skills, but also certificate programs. And also one more thing if anyone wants to get in touch with me, here are a few ways to do that. Next slide. There you go. Thank you. So this is how to get in touch with me. If you would like to speak with me, if you'd like to learn more about working with me, if I can just help you and answer any questions, my name is Debra Wheatman. I am the president and founder of Careers Done Right. We are a marketing and branding firm. I am on the socials. I am available via phone, via email, and I do work a lot. So I encourage you to reach out. It has been a pleasure to speak with you today, and I hope you got value out of this. Thank you so much.